It's time for the championship game at Ontario University Softball Championship Weekend. Joe Todd, we've been building the last 2 days to this game. Toronto Blues have been building to this game for the season. There you see the Napanee Fairgrounds. We've been here for the last 2 days, all for this game. 8 teams started this tournament back on Saturday morning. We're down to the final 2. The Toronto Blues and the Laurier Golden Hawks. The top teams in their respective divisions over the course of the regular season. Joe, it's a championship rematch of the winner's bracket final. Toronto was dominant this morning. Can they make it 2 in a row?
And Laurier Golden Hawks would love to knock off last year's champions right here.
We're going to get right underway with this one as the Laurier Golden Hawks are going to send Avery Hilpert, Brooke Cameron, and Emma Deagle to face Vanessa Jeffrey, the lefty, for Toronto, getting the start here in the championship game. She picked up a victory yesterday. Toronto using 3 different pitchers so far, Joe. Vanessa Jeffrey, the first to get a repeat start. And Hilpert laces this one out to left field and gathered in quickly and efficiently by Olivia Mather.
Well, and you talked about the third pitcher, Blair. It's great to have that kind of depth on your roster.
Toronto definitely, Joe, the deepest pitching staff here. Defensively for the Blues, it is Vanessa Jeffrey as the pitcher. She's pitching to Alexia Virtus behind the plate, Olivia Mather, Majin Patil, and Isabella Tricosis left to right across the outfield. Shirley Chan, Tala Rennie, Jamie Cho, and Julia Lacaria over at first base for Toronto. This is Brooke Cameron. Called a strike to the outside corner. Brooke just came off driving in a couple of key runs in the 6th inning for Laurier. A 7-3 win over Windsor in the 3rd place game. Windsor getting their bronze medals at the conclusion of that game.
Cameron was 1 for 2 in this morning's undefeated game.
Can't catch up to that one. 65, that's by far the highest we've seen on the radar gun. We'll see if Vanessa Jeffrey can keep it in that range. Foul back to the screen. This one at 56, and I wonder if maybe we got a bit of a false reading there on the prior one. She was topping out, Joe, yesterday in her game in the upper 50s, 58, 59 consistently. That one foul back to the screen. 57 there. And again, as we all know, it's not just about the velocity. Certainly helps, but when you hit your spots, and we're going to see that with Laurier starter Haley Shackle, and you can change speeds, that makes a big difference. Dials this one down to 51.
It's just like real estate, Blair. Location, location, location.
It is indeed. Brooke Cameron runs the count full. Hard hit shot goes off the shin of Jeffrey. She picks it up and airmails the throw just out of the range of Julia Lacaria over at first. And Brooke Cameron aboard with a base hit. Already a better start here for Laurier, Joe, and they're going to check on Vanessa Jeffrey. Quick visit for the coach, and right back to business. Emma Deagle, first pitch, slashes that one foul. Deagle moves into the 3 spot from cleanup the last game. She was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Jeffrey winds and works, and one hopper into the glove. Julie Laurier pulls that one down and records the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Maddie Halstead. Maddie hit the ball well in the prior game. 3 for 4 with a run scored. Check that, 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And very solid at second base too, Joe, as well.
Yeah, she's been a stalwart right there all weekend.
Jeffrey quickly ahead 0-2 on Halstead. If you're just getting in with us, the Ontario University Softball Championship game. Blair Setford, Joe Todd on Softball Premier, Luciana Lafrano. Hard hit off the chest of third base. Boy, Joe, Shirley Chan took a hard one hopper there up in the shoulder or upper body.
Good hard hit ball there by Halstead.
That's 2 hard hit balls on the infield here. Shortstop Tala Rene just corrals it and keeps it from rattling around any further, but runners on the corners for Laurier and threatening here in the first. Defensive indifference as Halstead makes her way up to second base. Lauren Art, the batter. And this one is punched out to center, going back and reaching up and making the grab.
Great grab.
Majan Patil makes the grab and saves a couple of runs. That would have been big for Laurier, but not for the defense of Majan Patil here in the top of the first inning. The Blues survive a scare, and they'll come to the plate in the home half. Back here for the bottom of the first inning, the OUS championship game. Laurier Golden Hawks take the field on the defensive side. Toronto Blues coming to the plate in the bottom of the first. They will send Shirley Chan to the plate. Isabella Tricosis and Tala Rennie, 1, 2, 3 in the batting order for Toronto. Defensively for Laurier, Lauren Art, Brooke Cameron. Natalie Donnell is the only change defensively for Laurier from the third place game. Anza Mion goes back to third base. Avery Hilpert, Maddie Halstead, Emma Deagle over at first. Haley Shackle gets the ball. Ride the person that brought you there, Joe. And Olivia Shattuck behind the plate for Laurier. They were a pretty formidable duo in that bronze medal game.
Pitched extremely well, had good control. We'll see how much she's still got left in the tank.
Well, she really worked in the changeup well, and there it is there, 45, and just dials it down a bit to that, and it really just drops off nicely when it gets to the plate. It's a tough pitch to square up. Shirley Chan squares this one up and hits it well, but it's foul down the left side. This Toronto team, Joe, swings the bat. And I mean swings the bat hard. They have jumped on teams early, piled up the runs, and have just run away and hid, particularly over the last 2 games, a pair of 10-0 wins, one over Queens, one over Laurier this morning.
They
This
do not-
team looks real good.
Yeah, they do not get cheated. Big swings.
Chan looks at this one down and away from Haley Shackle. Full count to Chan leading off for Toronto. And takes ball 4, so a leadoff walk. And Joe, these tend to come around to haunt you, don't they?
Yeah, just a bad start for Haley. You really want to get that first out under your belt, get some confidence rolling. Just from the psychological part of the game.
Isabella Tricosis shows bunt, takes this one, ball 1, well up in the zone. Onzami on at third, Emma Deagle over at first base. They are crashing. Squares again and can't get this one down.
Oh.
1 ball, 1 strike. This one through the 5.5 hole and a solid base hit for Isabella Tricosis. I think cheating was Avery Hilpert just a little bit, Joe, over towards second base. And I don't know, maybe if she's where she's standing right now, she might have a play on that. But she was 4 steps over to her left, and that one rolls through for the base hit.
Good hard hit ball by Tricosis, though.
Toronto has been very aggressive running the bases, and they have maximized every little miscue by the defense. This one is punched out to left, and everybody is just going to move up 60 feet here. And this Toronto offense has been unstoppable. 3 straight hitters, a leadoff walk, followed by 2 solid singles.
Have to bear down now on that pitcher-catcher combination for Laurier.
Alexia Virch's first pitch punches this one out to right. She's going to collect another RBI here this weekend. She's been a machine, Joe. 5 RBIs earlier today, has just picked up her 6th of the day. And she cleared the bases yesterday, too, with a 3 RBI triple if memory serves. So she has been a force in that cleanup spot for Toronto. Jamie Cho, 5th batter in the order for Toronto. Still nobody out. And doing what they've done all weekend, piling up runs.
And getting them early in the game, too.
Makes a big difference. Yesterday in the game against Queens, they went 3-2-4 in the first 3 innings. They scored 4 in the first this morning. They scored in the walk-off fashion last year to win the championship. They're trying to do it the fun way this year.
A lot less pressure.
A lot less pressure indeed. Ball 4, Shackle walks in the second run of the game. Had a bit of a look of disbelief that she didn't quite get that call. Jamie Cho picks up an RBI the easy way.
Alexis Aquano, one of the stronger hitters now, too. Wild pitch coming in, and Rennie scoring from third base for the 3rd run for the Toronto Varsity Blues in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better start if you are a Toronto fan. And here's the skipper for Laurier. He's made some well-timed visits, Joe, this morning, just to calm things down a little bit here. But boy, this team, you can't give away any free runs to this Toronto team like just happened. They've been maximizing, as we said, every single little miscue by the opposition, they have pounced on it. And it reminds me, and I say this with all due respect, this is a compliment, it reminds me of the way that Western has played the last few years. You make a single mistake, and it results in a run. Toronto's that team right now.
Exactly, yes. Those small little mental errors, a wild pitch, a pass ball, gaining 60 feet too many times means another run.
So Alexa Aquano, the designated player, she picked up the victory this morning in the circle for Toronto. Looks like a called strike.
Aquano 1 for 3 in the game this morning, had a triple and a single.
Little cue shot here out to the shortstop, Hilpert. But she just puts it in her back pocket and holds the runner at third. And bases loaded again, Joe. Still nobody out.
Yes. Laurier digging themselves in a big hole early.
Olivia Mather, left fielder, 7th batter in the order. There's the changeup again from Haley Shackle and in for a strike. I don't know, do you double up on it here, Joe?
Sure.
Well, there it is, and again, in for a strike. That, as we talked about in the previous game, it's been her best pitch. She's been able to rely on that to get it in for a strike. And goes to the well one more time with it. Shakes off one, finds the sign she likes, comes in with a drop ball and doesn't get the call. That one was down low from the get-go.
Laurier infield have to be sharp here. If that ball's hit to me, where am I going?
Stays alive and fouls that one off at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Olivia Mather. A leadoff walk, 3 straight singles, and another walk, then a fielder's choice. And that gets us to 3 runs in and the bases loaded with nobody out still for Toronto and threatening to run away really with this one. That is up in the air but goes foul. Just right in the Bermuda Triangle between the pitcher, the catcher, and third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mather back in the box and slugs this one out to the left. That's another run, not even stopping at third, but out at the plate, and now going to be out at third too. A double play. Olivia Mather drives in one, but a couple of, you got to call them base running miscues, Joe.
Yeah.
She just put her head down and ran right past the third base coach. Virtus scores, Cho is out at the plate, and then Aquano is out at third. Mather ends up at second on the play.
Did get 2 outs, which is a good sign for.
Well, small consolation for
Yes.
Laurier. 4 runs in and counting. Julia Lacaria at the plate for Toronto. Little tapper on the infield. Up and over from Anza Mion, who throws extremely well. The Blues strand 1. They score 4. Could have been more. Through 1 complete, it's Toronto 4 and Laurier no score. Joe, I think that's the first time in the last 3 games that Toronto has only sent 8 batters to the plate in the first inning. It was 9 the last couple of games. But hard hit balls and putting the pressure on this Laurier defense right from the get-go. 4 big runs in the first inning. We'll go to the top of the second, and it's Haley Shackle, Haley Shackle, Amy Hughes, and Anza Mion for the Laurier Golden Hawks. 6, 7, 8 in their order. They'll face Vanessa Jeffrey, the lefty from Toronto. Just outside. Shackle, a couple of RBIs on a double to help get Laurier on their way to this championship game in the 3rd place spot.
Jeffrey with a nice pitch on that outside corner.
And that one's right back up the middle. Another hard hit ball off the bat of Shackle. She had 3 RBIs in total in that game, and she also picked up a bases loaded walk. So Shackle aboard. That'll bring us to the designated player, Amy Hughes. And good to see Amy back in the lineup.
Yes, after getting hit with a infield drive yesterday. Laurier have to peck away at these 4 runs. Get one here, get one there. Put them back in a positive frame of mind.
Well, back-to-back base hits, and that one ricochets off the glove of Isabella Tricosis. And going first to third is Haley Shackle. I must know a Holly Shackle. That's about the 4th time I've said that. My apologies, Haley. I will get to it. But back-to-back base hits for Laurier, and that'll bring up Anza Mion. Maybe that'll help. Some defensive indifference gives Amy Hughes second base. Just off the outside corner. So 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Laurier, Joe, as you said, needs to peck away a little bit. A well-placed base hit here might help that. This one is up on the infield, and calling for that is Tala Rennie in behind the circle for the first out. Natalie Donnell, the only change in the lineup for Laurier was to get Natalie in. She came on and pinch hit in the previous game and delivered. She dropped down that real nice bunt single.
She got good wheels.
Try to do it again here. And you have to hurry to get her at first, and they do not. Julia Lecaria took the extra second to look Shackle back at third, and that was just enough for Natalie Donnell to beat that one out. And bases loaded here for Laurier. Back to the top of the shop, too, for Avery Hilpert, who swings a pretty good bat. You see it here. Is that one going to fall down just on the outside of the line? And this one is a dead ball hitter.
Yeah.
And that'll bring in a run. So a little errant pitching here on both sides. An RBI the hard way for Hilpert. We'll make it 4-1, and Brooke Cameron can change the score in a hurry, too.
She's a good stick.
Strike on the outside corner. Hughes now at third. Donnell at second. She runs very well. Hilpert at first. Good eye by Brooke Cameron to take that one.
Jeffrey having trouble finding the plate right now. Good time for Laurier to add to these runs.
Make it 2-2. Good eye on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And right back to the screen. This is a dangerous part of the order here for Laurier. Hilpert, Cameron, Giegel, and Halstead.
Cameron loves to take that outside pitch. She's looking for that pitch.
Full count, Brooke Cameron. This one up down the right side and into the glove of Laurier, trying to score from third on a real nice bit of base running. In comes Amy Hughes. Laurier had to go stretch for that, Joe, just over by the grass and behind the bag, and was not in a position at all because of the way she had to make the catch to turn and throw. That's a good read and a good base running by Amy Hughes. Everybody else also moves up 60 feet.
Not very often you see a sacrifice fly to 3.
And that is a true story. 4-2 for Laurier. 2 runs here this inning. And Joe, if nothing else, a moral victory, getting a couple of runs here on Toronto. The first 2 runs that they've allowed since their opener.
Positive sign for Laurier. 2 more runners in scoring position.
Chopper on the infield, and that's going to get through. Good strong throw to the plate, and thought about coming all the way around, did Avery Hilpert, but wisely put the brakes on. But you talked about it, Joe, just chipping away, and they're within a run, 4-3 now, Toronto, and still not out of this one.
3 consecutive batters, all with RBIs.
This one is lifted up down the right side, and a good run for Isabella Tricosis, but she makes the out in foul territory. Laurier score 3. We got ourselves a ball game, Joe.
Yes, 4-3 here now. Just completed 1.5.
And a new pitcher. Laurier. Haley Shackle goes 1, gives up 4. Laurier get themselves right back into the game, and they're going to turn it over to Lauren Art. We'll find out who went to left field for you in a moment.
I think that's Natalie Donnell over in left field now. And I think we got a new right fielder, or that could be Haley Shackle out there, but I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Well, Lauren Art is on to face the 9-batter Majan Patil. We will track down the defensive changes, the rest of them for you, but we'll concentrate on the batter right here, right now. Toronto wanting to respond, Joe, right away to those 3 runs that they gave up. There's a hard hit ball out to right and fighting the sun. And a nice catch out there by our new right fielder. And that is Anza Mion, who's moved to right. Shackle is down at third base. And you're right, Donnell did move out to left. In for a strike back at the top of the shop to Shirley Chan. Chopper on the infield. Shackle is going to let that one go foul, and wisely so. She was not going to get Shirley Chan there whatsoever. Right back up the middle, but a nice one hopper and fielded well by Lauren Art. And very quickly, Joe, 2 down, and this will be key for Laurier to minimize the Toronto offense right now.
Lauren Art, just 6 pitches so far, but recorded 2 outs.
Skips this one into Isabella Tricosas. Isabella singled and scored in the first. Big hole, Joe, in right center. High hopper on the infield. Art will go get that, and a nice, quick, efficient inning for Lauren Art and the Laurier Hawks. Much better in the top of, or the bottom of the second, rather. We'll go to the top of the third. 4-3 for Toronto. But Mr. Momentum seems to have shifted sides.
Yes. Well, there's Jolie Ma, Joe, and she's on to pitch
Top of the third inning, so Vanessa Jeffries goes 2, gives up the 3 runs in the second, and pitching change, Jolie Ma, you've got all of these arms, you might as well use them here.
Put that depth to work.
Short leash for the Toronto coaching staff. Lauren Art, who is on in relief herself. Art lined out to center field to end the first inning, and honestly, that was a great catch out there by Majin Patil as well. Here's a little flare on the infield. Shirley Chan puts that away for the first out. Haley Shackle. Eight batters faced as a pitcher, but she had a hard hit single and scored a run for Laurier on the offensive side here, and she's been a contributor all day for the Golden Hawks.
Laurier have to get some good timing now on Ma to figure out what she's got.
Well, there's a called strike on the edge of the zone.
A lot different from that left-handed side that you saw on Jeffrey.
Slashed out to right. That is going to drop in for a base hit, and she'll be content with a single. Haley Shackle, 2 for 2. Amy Hughes, designated player, singled, scored an inning ago. It's the bottom of the order once again, Joe, for Laurier. That's done some damage. Good swing right back to the screen. Had a notion to drop the bunt down and trying to do that for a hit. It was late in the sequence, so trying to get that one down for a hit and maybe take Julia Lecaria by surprise. Down on strikes goes Hughes. Up to second on the swing and a miss by everybody goes Haley Shackle. That pitch was so far outside that Birches didn't even have a chance on that.
No.
Anza Mion. Just off the outside corner. Popped up to short in the second. Hard shot right back up the middle. They're going to give the wave to Shackle. Here's the throw, but it's short. Mion is going to get tagged out at second, trying to stretch that into a double. But Joe, we got ourselves a tie ball game as Laurier has pushed across 4 runs here in the last 2 innings to recover and regroup from those 4 put across by Toronto in the first. This one looks to be a good one.
Yes.
You know, Joe, you and I have done a lot of ball games here this season and over the years. It's funny how quickly momentum can change. And if you'd have just watched the first inning, you would have thought Toronto was going to run away with another ball game. Laurier's had some second thoughts about that, and over the last 2 innings, they've pushed across 4 runs and are out hitting Toronto now, I think 8-3, maybe 8-4. I'll have to go back and double check. But
Great job by Laurier to go nibble, though. Just picking away. Hit here, a hit there, a walk, extra bases. Back into this game now. All tied up 4-4. We're now in the bottom of the third inning.
Tyler Rennie, Alexia Virtus, and Jamie Cho, 3-4-5 for the Toronto Blues. Rennie just fouled that one off her instep. Our home plate umpire, Chris Carroll, is reset behind the plate. That one down low from Lauren Art to Tala Rennie.
Got a chance, so a first base umpire is Aaron Gaudette, and at third base is Steve Gallagher. Completing the umpiring crew.
Laced out to left. And a good job out there by Natalie Donnell to run that down and keep it in front of her and to limit Tala Rennie to a single. She's 2 for 2.
Good defense by Donnell out there.
We've seen a lot of balls skip away from fielders over the last couple of days, Joe, so a good job to corral that. Alexia Virtus has been ringing up RBIs left, right, and center for Toronto, Joe. Doing what you want your cleanup batter to do.
Done a great job there and doing a great job behind the plate.
Hard hit ball off the glove of Halstead. The first error by Halstead. And Joe, I think she was thinking 2 before she had the ball in the glove. Yeah. She was turning to be able to make the throw.
Yeah. First part of that whole play is catch the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to catch it before you can throw it. Jamie Cho now with a couple of runners aboard, and that's fouled down the left side. Toronto trying to take back the momentum that right now is squarely on the shoulders of the Laurier Golden Hawks. Art just misses at the top of the zone. Ball 1. And fouls that off to the screen. Anza Mion plays a very shallow right field with this right-handed batter. Natalie Donnell out in left is a little bit more regulation. Same with Brooke Cameron in center. Misses inside, even the count at 2-2.
Good sequence of pitches there by Art. Moving the ball up and down.
Chopper on the infield. They go to third the short way, and they get the lead runner. That's good presence of mind by Avery Hilpert. She waited for that ball to come to her, very sure-handed, Joe. She wasn't trying to rush that play.
Good anticipation of where she was going with that ball.
So now 1 down, still runners at first and second. A flare on the infield. Halstead will call for that and make the catch just in behind the circle. And very quickly 2 down as Alexa Aquano chased that first pitch. Olivia Mather. That's slashed out to right. Mion in short right gets the throw in, but it's up the line and sliding in safely. Alexia Virches.
Good punch there by Mather, taking that ball the other way. 2 singles and 2 RBIs for Mather.
Having herself a good afternoon, a good start to the championship game. Toronto edges back in front. First pitch swinging again up in the air and calling for it is first base Emma Deagle. Pulls it down for the third out, but Toronto gets back into the lead, 5-4. And Joe, I'm going to hazard a guess. That's not going to be the final.
No, by no means.
Well, Joe, we've had almost a game's worth of action through 3 complete innings. 9 runs. Toronto has 5 of them. Laurier 4. And you feel like that momentum maybe shifted just a little bit back towards Toronto in that last inning.
8 hits for Laurier Golden Hawks. 7 hits for Toronto Varsity Blues.
And like we said, coming out of the last inning, I don't think we're anywhere near finished at this point. Jolie Ma for her second inning of work for Toronto. She'll face Natalie Donnell, and then back to the top of the shop for Avery Hilpert and Brooke Cameron. 9-1-2. Drops down the bunt, but Ma is right there to pick that up, and they get Natalie Donnell, who runs very well, it must be said, but a nice defensive play there by Jolie Ma.
Good bunt attempt there, but just hit it too hard.
Yeah, if that dies 6 feet in front of Ma and she's got to go get it, I don't think they would get the out at first. Hit by a pitch back in the second inning. Collected an RBI for her pain. That one misses.
Avery, one of the graduating players on Laurier, so she'd love to go out a winner.
There's a view. Everybody up along the screen. Chop foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes here. 1 down in top of the 4th inning. We got to get the scoreboard out in left field to catch up on the innings. It is the 4th. We got it right on screen for you. 2 hopper out to second, in and out of the glove of the second base, Jamie Cho, but she stays with it. Little shoulder bump out there with Tala Rennie.
5 cameras were operating this weekend with Softball Premier TV. Good action shots all around. Great job.
2-3-4 hopper out to Shirley Chan, and she's as good as anybody out there at third base, and fires across for a 1-2-3 inning for Toronto. And that pendulum of momentum shifting back towards the third base dugout. A good 1-2-3 inning for Jolie Ma. We'll see if the Bats can capitalize. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Championship Sunday, championship game on Softball Premier TV. Well, Joe, it'll be another 9-1-2 start to an inning as Majan Patil, and then back to the top of the shop for Toronto, Shirley Chan and Isabella Tricosis. Patil flied out to right, puts down a bunt, and wisely Shackle lets that one roll. Haley Shackle pitches, plays third base, hits, does it all out there for Laurier. Drives in runs.
Very smart ball player, too, to just lay off on that fielding play.
Well, twice she's done that now, and good baseball IQ. Patil, a little chopper. Art comes to get it and throws out the 9-batter for Toronto. Shirley Chan, 0 for 1, walked, scored in the first, and tapped back out to Art as she came on in the second inning. This one is screamed out to left field, just bounces on the line. Chan is flying around second base. She'll get into third with a stand-up triple. The throw comes into nobody, and coming around to score is Shirley Chan as the throw from left field just ricocheted across the infield. Shirley Chan trots home with an inside-the-park home run.
Good base running there by Chan to pick up that errant throw. So important. No matter what you do, you got to hit that cutoff person.
Yeah, you just see Chan there across the plate. See the throw just bounce past the shortstop. She couldn't corral it. Avery Hilpert got short hopped. And an easy play for Shirley Chan. Now we've got the Laurier coach out to check on something with Steve Gallagher.
He was just asking if it was fair or foul on that hit.
Well, I guess you might as well ask, but
yeah.
I mean, we're quite a distance away, but to me that was evidently. Joe, we do have some action in the Toronto bullpen as they are very active in keeping players ready. This one is hit out to center. Brooke Cameron a couple of steps in. Toronto out in front 6-4 now. Called strike on the outside corner. And this one to the screen. Jill, the only thing I haven't seen from Lauren Art is the changeup.
Yeah, I don't know if that's part of our arsenal or not yet. We have, as you just mentioned. We'll see if she's got that hidden in her back pocket.
Little excuse me, check swing foul.
Rennie third inning of action, but just throwing 30 pitches in those 3 innings.
Pulled foul by Rennie. Lauren Art, 30 pitches.
Lauren Art, yes.
Rennie 2 for 2, pair of singles. Scored back in the first, part of that 4-run uprising. Laurier roared back to tie it, and Toronto again has pulled ahead. That one just inside. And misses upstairs, so let's run it to 3-2.
Toronto not chasing that rise ball, laying off. Good plate discipline.
That one is punched out to left, but that'll go foul. Still 3-2. Good at bat here by Tala Rennie, the 3-batter for the Toronto Blues. Out to Shackle and just on the foul side of the line.
Good call by home plate umpire Chris Carroll to get out and get down that line.
If you're 2 steps in, that's a fair ball. Mm-hmm. But where she's playing, and I mean, she's had a lot of hot shots her direction. In fairness to Haley Shackle, there have been a lot of hard hit balls to third base all weekend. Doesn't matter what the game. But a good at bat by Rennie results in a walk. 2-out walk. That'll bring up the catcher, Alexia Virches. We've talked about it, Joe. She has been driving in runs all weekend. Single, reached on an error, scored both times. And she's at the heart of the Toronto lineup for a reason.
Yeah, she's batting out that number 4 hole. One of the team leaders here. Her and Shirley Chan have stood out for me.
Yeah, it's hard to pick an MVP if you're tasked with that right now. Shirley Chan, the home run, a walk, a couple of runs scored. Virches has been driving in runs, has scored a couple of runs, fouls this one off here. Plus she's handled the pitching staff. Mather 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs.
Get on it. One more. Great.
On the move, Tala Rennie with a late throw from Laurier. I didn't hear anybody say on the move other than us up here.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why Shattuck looked over at their bench saying, I need some help.
Yeah, and rightfully so. This one is well hit to right field, way over the head of Anza Mion. Virches is not even going to break stride around second. She's getting the wave to try and come around to score. The throw is up the line and scoring an inside the park home run is Alexia Virches.
Good power hit, driving that ball over that right fielder, Mion's head. Good wheels by Virches too. Circle those bases. driving in Rennie and Virtus herself. 3 runs picked up on the board by the Varsity Blues.
8-4 now for Toronto. Alexia Virtus, have yourself a weekend. My goodness. That ball was struck. Mion broke backwards right off the crack of the bat. She knew that that was going to be over her head. She actually got a great jump on it to go back and get it. But Virtus runs very well, and not just for a catcher.
Yeah.
So Jamie Cho, 0 for 1, a walk. Picked up an RBI as that was a bases loaded walk. There's a one hopper down to Shackle at third and across the diamond for the final out of the inning. But Toronto scored 3 and pushed the lead to 8-4. That momentum factor, Joe, back to the third base dugout for sure. Emma Deagle, Maddie Halstead, Lauren Art, 3-4-5 for Laurier. They're back to chasing a 4-run deficit. They've already overcome one, Joe. Can you do it twice in one game? That's a tall order.
Tall task to play, but Laurier are up for it.
Two hopper, three hopper out to Jolie Ma. One hopper over to first and unable to field that one for Toronto is Julia Licari. I'm not sure she was expecting a one hopper thrown her way there.
Yeah, a little errant throw there. The old step and throw.
Yeah, you got to use your whole body. You can't just throw it with the arm. So E1 on the play, and Emma Deagle is aboard. Maddie Halstead singled in the first. Fly out to right in the second for the 4-batter.
Big gap between center and right field. That's where Maddie loves to go. Just over that second baseman's head. No,
hard hit ball, and she's going to pull that one through the 5.5 gap.
She got her pitch.
Yep, she pulled it right past the shortstop and the third base player. Rennie, Shirley Chan, nothing they can do about that. And Laurier, couple of runners aboard once again. We've been down this road before.
Kind of like Groundhog Day.
Lauren Art. Hard hit ball, but that is just going to be foul down the left side. Just foul. Olivia Mather will go chase that one down the left field corner. Lauren Art has put some good swings on the ball here today. Ma misses upstairs and run the count to 2-1 on Lauren Art. A line out and a pop out. And again, this one will go foul down the left side.
Good turn of the wrist there by Art. Just wants to pop it over that infield. Keep this rally going. She's not trying to kill it.
There's a changeup and out over the head of Chan. And we'll get the bases loaded here with nobody down for Laurier. Like you said, Joe, you don't need to kill it. You just need to hit it where they're not. And a nice base hit for Lauren Art. You get it past Shirley Chan, you've done something too.
And Haley Shackle's the person you want to plate here now.
She's been the MVP for me for Laurier today. Between the pitching performance that she put on in the bronze medal game.
Good block there by Vershis behind the plate on that pitch that Mao put in.
Yeah, saved a run. And this one is smoked out to left. That's going to rattle all the way down to the corner. There's one of those runs back. There's two. Here comes three, and Haley Shackle clears the bases with a double. And, Joe, you said Laurier was up for it, and they certainly are.
Good punch there by Shackle. Keep that whole inning going here now. Done a good job on the mound, done a good job at third base, done a good job at the plate with the stick.
Yeah, she has really come through for the Hawks here today. She is 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. And that's just on top of what she did the last game where she had 3 RBIs. Have yourself a day, Haley.
Still no one out.
That one's up the middle. Shackle is going to get frozen there at third.
Good play by leaving her stranded there. No one out. You don't want to run yourself out of an inning.
No, you do not need to make an out there at the plate. Amy Hughes with the single. And Amy is 2 for 3 as well.
I think they're thinking about putting in a pinch runner for
I would think.
Unless he's run out of bodies. I don't think he's got a very deep bench.
No, he does not. He does not. There's only 3, I think, on the Laurier bench. Olivia Solis, Skylar Smith, and Brooklyn Grawl. But I mean, 1 down and at third for Shackle. I don't know that you need to put a runner in for her. She's going to score easily on a base hit. I guess the question is on a fly ball. But more importantly, for Toronto, they've got...
Oh, we got a pinch hitter coming at the plate now, 21.
Yeah, that's Skylar.
No,
that's Brooklyn Grawl. Okay, so Brooklyn Grawl, the pinch hitter for Onzo Mion. And Toronto's also got somebody over here in the bullpen warming up, number 88. We'll get that one for you in a moment, but we'll concentrate on Grawl here at the plate.
Brooklyn Grawl in the game against York yesterday, that high-scoring game, had a single, a double, and a triple, and scored 3 runs.
Clearly can handle the bat.
Went chasing there. Got to keep a little plate discipline now. Still looking for your pitch.
Alexa Aquano is warming up to our immediate left in behind the bleachers. Just misses on the outside corner, Jolie Mogg. Joe, you almost have to think this is going to be her last batter. If she can't get Grawl here. Popped up on the infield. Calling for it is the catcher. Makes the grab, Burgess. That would have been into fair territory, too. So, makes the catch.
Great defensive play, but
yeah, you would
first
definitely
baseman.
prefer Licari to come down. It's
Yeah.
a much easier play for the first base player to come down and to get that rather than the catcher trying to run out. In any event, the out is made. Natalie Donnell. And you've got to bring the defense in here if you're Toronto. There's the bunt attempt. It's down.
Yeah, she's gonna be
Chan is wisely going to hang on to that because they're not going to get Natalie Donnell if it bounces twice. And once again, third or fourth time today, the bases are loaded between these two teams. You see Chan bluff the throw and was hoping to get Shackle wandering off third, but no such luck. Donnell.
Jolie Moss still on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, to be honest, because Aquano has finished her warm-ups. Bases loaded, just the one out. Donnell is 2 for 3 with a pair of those bunt singles. We're back to the top of the shop for Avery Hilpert, getting now, Joe, her 4th look. Third here at Jolie Maw. That's her hard hit ball. That's going to put Laurier into the lead. It looks like no. A real strong throw from the right fielder, Isabella Tricosis, and a late stop sign goes up for Amy Hughes. But, Joe, again, we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Laurier, indeed, were up for it to come back from a 4-run deficit. Now the second time this game. And they're not out of this inning just yet. But I think that is going to be it for Jolie Maw, as here comes Alexis Aquano. Joe, there are turning points in ball games. We've had several of them already here this afternoon. A championship game worthy of the moniker. Often the championships at the end of the tournaments, one team is so dog-tired that they just can't muster the effort. You cannot say that here in this one. Lifted straight up the elevator shaft. Virtus comes back and can't make the catch up against the screen.
Tough play because she's going from the sun into the shade.
A break for Laurier here. Alexis Aquano, the third pitcher of the game, on for the Toronto Blues. We've got ourselves a tie game again, only one down and the bases loaded. This is the 4th or 5th time we've had the bases loaded in this game for both teams. Brooke Cameron swings the bat as well as anybody in this game at the plate.
We're in the 5th inning, and Cameron's been up to bat 4 times.
The 9th batter this inning for Laurier. Joe, I can't remember a team that's twice come back from 4-run deficits. Well hit out to left. Coming across to make the grab. Tags and scores, and another sac fly RBI for Brooke Cameron. That's her second one of the game. And Laurier, most improbably here, Joe Todd, is now in the lead 9-8. That was Amy Hughes who crossed the plate with the go-ahead run. Runners at first and second still. Natalie Donnell is out at second. Avery Hilpert is at first.
14 hits now for Laurier. 5 innings.
Little squib foul. Emma Deagle at the plate. Had an RBI single in the second. Reached on an error and scored earlier this inning, Joe. Her second at bat here in the inning. And that one's going to go foul down the left side out of play. We know Laurier can win a slugfest like this. They did it 14-13 over York yesterday. Hot shot right to the shortstop. Talareni gets Toronto out of the inning. But Laurier score 5 in the 5th. 5, count them, 5 runs in the 5th, and now lead 9-8. Do we think it's going to end like this?
No.
No, we
not
don't.
A chance.
No, we don't. Well, back and forth we go, and for the first time here in the tournament, Toronto trailing now 9-8 in this back and forth titanic battle in the OUS championship game. A title bout that we're never going to forget. This one is punched out to center. First pitch, Alexa Aquano lines out to center field. Joe, regardless of how this one plays out, it's going to be one of the best championship games in this league in a long time.
Yes, been extremely well. Real good game. Fun to watch. Seen some offense, seen some defense.
Down and in to Olivia Mather. Olivia is 2 for 2 with a pair of RBIs. She'll have to hit a home run to get another RBI here in this one. That one's right back up the middle, or is it? The shortstop, Avery Hilpert, ranges way over to her left field, or her left side, and steals a base hit from Olivia Mather. Wow, that's some good defense.
Great range there by Hilpert to get over there,
Look
track that ball down.
How far she goes, almost to the bag.
Steps and plants her feet and gets a throw.
That's a play. Julia Lacaria, the first base player for Toronto. A ground out and a pop-up. Chopper on the infield, another chance for Hilpert. And on to first. Is that the first 1-2-3 inning we've had?
No, we have one back in the second.
Did we? They're a rarity in this one. Laurier right back up to the plate. Maddie Halstead, Lauren Art, and Haley Shackle, who has been outstanding here on Championship Sunday for the Laurier Golden Hawks, who suddenly and shockingly have the lead. This one is fouled to the screen by Halstead. A little excuse me check swing. Alexis Aquano, third pitcher of the afternoon for Toronto. Vanessa Jeffrey started, went 2. Jolie Ma, 2 good innings through the third and the fourth, but things unraveled in the fifth. Lauren Art, Joe, has been just good enough for Laurier. Lined out to center. Majan Patil pulls that one down for the first out of the inning. Lauren Art, the opportunity to help her own cause. She singled and scored in that uprising an inning ago. Down and in from Aquano.
Aquano's being very careful picking her corners.
Lifted up on the infield foul. Chan's going to get over to the bench and just about makes the catch, but just about isn't quite enough here. That's a valiant effort, but just out of range. Breeze has picked up a little in the last couple of innings here too, Joe, at the Napanee Fairgrounds. It's fall, and you've got some leaves falling, coming down onto the field and beyond. It's a gorgeous vista out in the outfield with all the colors. And a real good at bat by Lauren Art to work a walk with 1 out here in the 6th. Haley Shackle, 3 for 3. 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs. 3's a magic number right now for Haley, but make it 4 for 4. Having a day. Didn't waste any time either. Right after that first pitch, hard hit ball right through the 3.5 hole.
Good punch there by Shackle, taking that ball the other way.
And we looked at her batting stance in the previous game, Joe. She's very open and then steps across to close it. But that means her power alley is going to be to the right side, and she just showed it right there. Turn to bunt, and it gets through the wickets of Alexia Vergis. And Joe, free real estate. You never want to not take advantage of that. Art up to third base, Shackle to second. Amy Hughes, the designated player, is 2 for 3.
Quano has to shut the door here. Amy Hughes has hit the ball hard twice to left field.
And that one ricochets off the leg of Vergis and in to score an insurance run, Lauren Art. Well, you talk about helping yourself, Joe. There's 120 feet of free real estate for Lauren Art.
Tough pitches for Vergis to handle there.
Good swing, foul back straight to the screen. You know, Joe, we talked off the top about how Toronto had been capitalizing on every single little miscue. Laurier has completely flipped the script on Toronto here this game. A couple of miscues, wild pitch, pass ball, maybe some miscommunication between pitcher and catcher. And suddenly now you're down by 2.
Great job done by Laurier to come back twice.
Chopper down to Chan, takes a look, freezes Shackle on the bag, and a good strong throw over to first for the second out.
Chan with a very accurate arm.
She's been very impressive over there at third base. Onza Mion.
Mion back in the game. Brooklyn Grill pinch hit for her back in the 5th inning.
Chopper on the infield. From short to first, Talareni gets the Blues out of the inning, but Laurier pick up an insurance run here in the top of the 6th. How large is that going to loom? We're going to find out over the next inning and a half. Toronto down to their final 6 outs. Laurier have it in them for our 3rd champion in the last 3 years. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV. We're going to find out. Well, no panic on the side of the University of Toronto, Joe. Majan Patil will lead things off for the 3rd time this game in the 9 spot. Then back to the top of the shop for Shirley Chan, Isabella Tricosis. The top of the shop has done all of the damage for Toronto here today. The top 4 batters have scored all of the runs.
Laurier just have to make sure they get that leadoff batter in the inning. They just play with that much more confidence. The 3 innings, the Toronto Varsity Blues had someone on base in that first batter spot. They had big innings.
Patil looked like she ducked under that one. 2-1. And a called strike down in the inside corner. So run the count to even at 2-2. Toronto would love to get Patil aboard and set the table for Chan and Tricosis and Rennie and Virtus. Line shot off the glove of second base, Maddie Halstead. Patil does the job.
Good punch there by Patil. Get something rolling here for varsity.
Shirley Chan, top of the shop. A walk, a ground out, and an inside the park home run.
Had a busy day.
Inside corner for strike one from Lauren Art. And she's played some solid defense over at third base for Toronto all weekend. Top of the shop has been rock steady. Lifted up in the air. Short left, shortstop. Avery Hilpert ranges back, and that's a really good play, Joe, because I think Natalie Donnell was going to be there, but outstanding.
Well, Hilpert called it early and traced it down.
She went a long way. Getting Chan is a big out. Isabella Tricosis. There's a hard hit ball. They feed to second for one, back to first, not in time, but getting the lead runner. And Hilpert and Halstead up the middle have been very reliable for Laurier today.
Good play by Hilpert to stay down on that ball, let that ball bounce up. Kept the ball in front of her. Easy toss underhand over to Halstead.
Tala Rennie. She's 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs scored. And that's going to get through the gap between short and third. Tala Rennie make it 3 for 4. And Toronto threatening here again in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 down. Pair of runners aboard. And guess who's up? Alexia Virtus. Guess who's been money in the bank all weekend long? Alexia Virtus. This is where you want to be if you are the Toronto Blues.
Good pitch by Arch, just missing off the corner.
Or just on the corner for a called strike.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see his arm go up.
This one is hit hard to center field. Going back is Cameron to make the catch. And the catcher realizes the significance of that. Olivia Shattuck with a little jump and an arm pump. Toronto, strand 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Will go to the top of the 7th. Laurier with a 10-8 lead, looking to add some more insurance. Natalie Donnell, the 9-batter for Laurier, to lead things off, and Julia Lecari is already in halfway from first base, anticipating the bunt. Swinging away on the first pitch at least is Donnell. Can't get up with that one. She's 2 for 3. Both of them bunt singles, trying to do it again, but fouls this one back into the screen. And why wouldn't you? That's your forte. Why go away from your strength? There you see all the Laurier Golden Hawks up on the fence line. Toronto, same thing on their side. Drops it down, but that just spins foul.
Strikeout.
Yeah, bunt attempt with 2 strikes. Janelle Hodge is swinging the bat down to our left and behind the bleachers for Toronto. Look for her to be pinch hitting coming up in the bottom of the 7th.
That is Aquano's first strikeout of the game in her 4 innings of work. 3 innings of work.
Well, she came on in
The 5th.
the end of the 5th,
Yep.
so this is now her, technically I guess her 3rd, or almost her 3rd. This was lifted up on the infield. A couple of people calling for it. Ultimately, Tala Rennie pulls that one down. Retires Avery Hilpert, and that's been no easy thing to do today. Brooke Cameron, a pair of sac flies, a single and a ground out, but this is going to be a fly ball out in her 5th plate appearance here in the championship game. Aquano gets the first 1-2-3 inning. It's in the 7th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. Can Toronto tie it? Can they win it? Come back on Softball Premier TV to find out.
.27 is our pinch hitter coming off the bench.
Janelle Hodge, who was swinging the bat, so she's going to hit for Jamie Cho. Hodge was warming up into the net off to our left. Joe Todd, it all comes down to the bottom of the 7th. You want this for a championship game, all of the drama that you can muster. Toronto has run roughshod over the competition earlier today, all day yesterday, but Laurier has had every answer here this afternoon. This one is drilled out to deep left field. Janelle Hodge is going to round second and dig for third. Here's the throw, sliding in safely, and a leadoff triple off the bench for Janelle Hodge, and he's going to go home to score because the ball trickled out of play.
Big clutch hit coming off the bench there for Hodge.
How about that? A leadoff inside the park home run. There you see on the replay, Natalie Donnell goes and gets it. There's the throw, and it bounces out of play. and awarded home. But Janelle Hodge off the bench, and wow, one pitch, and we're that much closer.
Great job by Hodge to prepare herself for that situation.
So all the excitement, Joe Todd, that gets us to Alexa Aquano. And she's hit the ball hard a couple of times, lined out to center field, leading off the 5th inning. She can hit the ball a long way, too.
Yeah, she's a good pull hitter.
This one down and in from Lauren Art. This one is drilled up in the air, too. A long run here for Brooke Cameron, but she comes on to make the first out. Olivia Mather to the plate. Mather has hit the ball hard, Joe, 3 times, 2 for 3. The last one, it was a real nice defensive play, ranging up the middle by Avery Hilpert that stole a base hit away.
Good pitch by Art.
But Mather's been mostly up the middle, all 3 at bats. I'd almost be collapsing the defense a little bit up the middle. Maybe take that away. Little excuse me check swing, but that's going to fall in for a base hit for Olivia Mather. She's 3 for 4 on the day. Did not mean to go after that, Joe, but it falls in for a base hit.
The pitcher pitches it out there, take it.
Sometimes you're golden. Another pinch hitter for Toronto. 47 is Zoe Goldberg. She will come on to hit for Julia Lacaria. And Joe, you and I had looked at that. Julia 0 for 3.
99, 47.
The coaching staff waiting to the 7th to empty the bench. They've already pressed one right button with Hodge. Janelle Hodge. In for a strike. Mather the runner at first.
Just missing.
Or just
sorry.
a strike at the bottom of the zone. It's a slow call. You got to
Slow
wait
call.
for it.
Yeah.
Got to wait for it.
Chris Carroll. I got to get on the same page as Chris Carroll.
0-2 to Zoe Goldberg. Called strike 3. Laurier are now an out away from clinching their first championship since 2007. Majan Patil, the 9-batter for Toronto, singled in the 6th. And she got another one in her. In for a strike.
Patil has gone right up the middle and gone out to right field. Just missing. That time.
You are still jumping the gun there. One ball, one strike to Patil. 2-1 as that one is up and away.
Don't want to fall behind here in the count.
Well, too late. 3-1 now.
Hart has to now go to Patil.
Tying run at first.
Infielders have to be down and ready.
The winning run at the plate for Toronto. Slash foul down the right side, and we'll go to a full count.
Why not?
Just to add to the drama. A back and forth seesaw championship game between the 2 top teams in the league, the division leaders. And it's fitting that it comes down to this. Slash foul again and nearly decapitates 3 people on the Laurier side of things.
If you're Patil, you want to be aggressive. You want to hit that ball. If it's Art, you want to pick a corner.
Downstairs, ball 4 puts the winning run aboard at first and turns it over to, more importantly, Joe, to the top of the shop where all the runs have been scored, where all the runs have been produced. A real quality at bat by Majan Patil. If you've got a jackrabbit on the Toronto bench, you'd almost need to substitute here for Mather. There's a live look at our current situation. The Toronto coach over issuing some instructions, sternly I'm sure, to his base runners. Laurier, regroup.
Art has to make sure she gets ahead in the count here.
Shirley Chan just needs a base hit to tie this game. First pitch, in for a strike, Joe Todd. She does exactly as you suggest, gets ahead. Strike 1, oh so important. Hard hit ball, Hilpert knocks it down, but Mather gets the wave as it trickles to the outfield, and we've got a tie ball game.
Good punch there by Shirley Chan.
She hit it hard.
Great attempt there by Avery Hilpert.
Diving attempt, knocked it down, but it trickled away just enough for Olivia Mather to score from second. And now that brings up Isabella Tricosis with the game-winning run at third base in the form of Patil. In for a strike. Patil is the run that matters at third. Downstairs, ball 1. Isabella Tricosis, the opportunity to go back-to-back for Toronto. Reaches up and fouls this one out of play, 1-2. You might as well send Shirley Chan and try and get out of the force. There she goes. Two and 2. Tie game. Do we go to extras or do we celebrate? Hard hit. Hilpert bobbles it, and Toronto wins. They go back-to-back. Hilpert came across, made a valiant effort. But Isabella Tricosis drives in the game-winning run, and the University of Toronto Blues are back-to-back champions.
Real tough loss there for Laurier Golden Hawks, but full credence for the Toronto Varsity Blues to come back in that game. In the bottom of the 7th inning, scoring 3 runs.
Wow, what a championship final. The drama in this one. Back and forth, back and forth. Laurier twice overcomes 4-run deficits. Toronto, 3 in the bottom of the 7th to walk it off 11-10. What a game, Joe Todd. Entirely worthy of the championship, and the banner will fly high again in Toronto.
2 years in a row now, Toronto Varsity Blues picked up the championship trophy.
Coming up with Laurier and Toronto. Kyle Smith, Melissa Sybil, the league executive, will present the medals. I'm going to step out, let you handle the medal ceremony. There's the live look.
Waving goodbye to Ivan Taylor.
They'll be announcing the MVP. I've got to think that Alexia Virtus is going to be in that conversation for Toronto. 3 RBIs here today in the championship game, and multiple ones for the Blues earlier as well as they work their way here. 11-10 in the final. What a game. Joe, thanks for the opportunity to work with you all season. Luciano, my friend, wonderful as always, and thank you, the audience, for being with us. We'll see you next year.
Thank you. Now presenting the runner-up awards or credence to Laurier Golden Hawks. Amazing championship game. For Laurier. Individual awards, individual medals now being handed out by the coaching staff. Hansa Mion now out getting her award. Laura Art, the losing pitcher of today's game, pitched a great game. Haley Shackle, who had a great game, 4 for 4. Played some great third base. Pitched a real good game this morning. Skylar Smith now getting her medal. Amy Hughes, the designated player for today's game. Avery Hilpert, the senior, graduating, playing in her last game of the year. Going over now to congratulate the Toronto team as well. Number 9, Brooke Cameron, another graduating senior. Emma Deagle played steady first base all weekend. Maddie Halstead, real stalwart at second base. Good stick, good all-around ball player. Coaches now rewarding each other with medals. Go to the training staff now, too. Kyle Smith now mentioning the fact that Toronto Varsity Blues have won back-to-back years. Team captains all coming forward. Fisom going out there for the picture. Probably the graduating players. We never got to the Toronto's graduating list. I'm sure those are the players that will fall into that category. First year head coach, Mr. Capuano, coming out to get his award, and then he will present the individual medals to his players. Number 11, Vanessa Jeffrey, our starting pitcher in today's game. Alexa Aquano coming out to get hers. Alexa Virch is going out now. She had a great tournament. Great job behind the plate. Chanel Hodge, you had that big clutch hit coming off the bench. Jamie Chow played a good second base for Toronto. Olivia Mather, big clutch hits. Good defense all weekend. Isabella Tracosis, number 2 batter all weekend for Varsity Blues, driving a lot of big runs, especially the game winner today. Majan Patil getting her ribbon. Shirley Chan played a great steady third base all weekend. Good stick, good leadoff batter. Taylor Rennie now getting her award. She was 3 for 4 today. Big part of the lineup. Now the coaches will be sharing that. Training staff too, coaching staff.
let's have one final award.
Now the most valuable player award being handed out.
That don't know, a lot of new faces this year. Doug was the driving force behind founding OUS with another couple members. Doug was key in designing the group and how it's designed forward. So that's why we named the Doug Perry MVP award. This year, very proud to say that the award goes to, from the Toronto varsity players, Alexia Verges.
Alexis Vercheus, the catcher, who had a great weekend. Team leader behind the plate. Had a 2-run home run back in that 4th inning. Had a great weekend, though. Congratulations to the Toronto Varsity Blues and the MVP for the weekend, Alexis Vercheus. Final words by President Kyle Smith. Thank you very much, and wishing everyone a safe travel home. See you all next year, wherever this tournament will be played. Thank you to Softball Premier TV, to my partners Kyle Smith and Blair Sedford on a great weekend. Time to wrap it up and send everybody home.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball on